our next song is In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg. Okay, and this is just an E minor sequence mixed with a B major sequence and then a B augmented. And we'll get into all that in just a moment. But you need to know your E minor scale in 3 places. And your B major, at least the 5-note scale, in 3 places. And when I said augmented, what I mean by that is you take a major chord, the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and you make that 5th sharp. That's augmented. Okay, so let's just take a look at our very first sequence in the lowest E minor possible. And this song is going to gradually speed up as it goes. So we have to run the scale straight up. Now reach over, slide both those down chromatically, same thing, okay, then do it again. Now rock back to your octave, let that off, and come to the 7th right there. That's the 5th fret, but it's the 7th of the scale. So that goes twice, and then we're going to come into our first B sequence. Now it's important to use your 2nd finger here on B, because we're going to need that 1st finger back here on the 6th fret. So then reach up for that augmented note. Now we're going to do that again, and this time instead of the augmented, we're actually just going to go to the 6th of the scale. So okay, now what's going to happen is, instead of making that huge reach, and if you have large hands or long fingers and you can do that, then that's great. What I tend to do instead is just get the note here. And next we have our E minor sequence in the 2nd octave. It's the same as this, but up an octave. Rock that finger back. So I never get out of that 7th position for this one. And that's going to be important later. So now we're coming up to our 2nd B sequence. So we started on this B. Let's just jump an octave to this one. Same thing. That's the augmented portion. This time we're going to do the major 6th. Again, if you can reach that, that's fine. And where this was directly the next string down, this one has to be a fret different because of the tuning of the guitar. Same thing happens when we come to our third E sequence. We have to walk it up. Now we have to shift. Everything on that second string has to shift up. And just for a little bit more of a rock feel, I usually let those notes ring out and just kind of slide that down. So, and a little vibrato doesn't hurt either. It just gives it a good hard rock, bluesy kind of feel. And again with the okay, in our third B position, we started on this B, went to that B, finally we're on B here, 12th fret of the B string. This time we don't have another string to go to, so we have to make that reach. But it's better because we're on smaller frets. And I'll take just a minute here to talk about Chris Oliva, my guitar hero. Okay, when I was just a young adolescent, just turned on to heavy metal and hard rock, he did a version of this song. Actually, Sabotage did a version of this song, and it just blew me away. And I thought, well, I have to be able to do that. So I started studying this type of music. But one of the things he did when he got to that portion of it was went into a finger tapping. Now they're doing it in a different key, and he is just like light years beyond where I'll ever be as a guitar player. But what you can do is, we know we're doing B, right? So if we find B here on the first string, and play the major third, and then get that fifth, and then the augmented fifth, and then the major sixth, we can do a tapping thing there. Okay? You can choose to do that or not. There are plenty of things you can do to make any of these songs your own. But that's just a little tip, a little something that I like to do when I play this song. So, that's going to bring us into our last E sequence, and what we're going to do is jump back down to this octave. Okay? And the very last one is going to do something out of the E harmonic minor. So we're going to come into now, that note right there makes it harmonic minor because that's your major seventh. So, and that's just a little piece of an E minor arpeggio. Or actually a B major arpeggio. Okay? And you're going to want to do that probably about 300 times because the next time it comes around, it's very, very, very fast. Okay? And if you don't know an E diminished chord, there's tons of ways to hit diminished chords. But in this case, we're just going to do the root, flat fifth, and the octave. And then we have a descending 16th note run down the E minor scale. Okay, and as I said, this is gradually increasing in speed throughout the song. So let's try that with the backing track.